Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. This time we'll look at something that I believe is in a format that I don't have anything else of from this particular region, but a region we've seen before and a product we've seen sort of before in other incarnations in other regions. And this is an item that goes back to one of the longtime friends of the show, Matthew Hardesty, Father Matthew Hardesty. When I get my extra student pay, right, or my summer school pay from teaching an extremely large load of students, I kind of overload myself every single term specifically so that I have extra spending money for things like this. He will often, when he knows that's coming, he'll say, hey, check this out. How about this? How about this? You know, if he sees something cool on eBay. And most of the time we're talking about some pretty cool stuff. And this time we were talking about something that was pretty cool. But this was right around the same time that we were dealing with my wife having a new transmission having to be done on her car, plus some other expenses coming up, me dropping money on a bunch of those Japanese laser discs and whatnot that I was trying to use to sort of finish out that part of my collection. So there was something that was just kind of sitting there as a maybe someday for me that he mentioned a couple of times. And finally he took it upon himself so that it didn't slip by to be like, you know what? You're not going to get it. I'm going to get it for you. So in an act of kindness and trying to support the show and trying to support, you know, my efforts with the Star Wars Home Video Library stuff here, Matthew actually purchased this item and sent it my way as a gift. So first off, thank you to Matthew Hardesty. And he's right. This really is an item that is very different from most of what is in my collection and might actually start me down a new rabbit hole, but I'm trying not to for the moment. That is a release from Japan on beta, I think the first beta item from Japan in my collection, I believe, of an Ewok film. Which Ewok film? Well, of course the one whose packaging is so fascinating because it's so weird compared to what's actually in the program and so different than what we saw in the US, which means we must be talking about the Battle for Endor. This is the item in question. This is the beta release of Ewoks, The Battle for Endor from 1988 through MGM UA Home Video from Japan. Notice here we've got that cover art that we've seen on some VHS releases out of the UK. We've seen it on the Japanese Laserdisc and whatnot. It's that weird one from its theatrical release in other regions. Remember, it didn't get a theatrical release in the US, and it did have a very different type of cover in the US. But it's got that sort of dynamic, this is going to be an awesome space battle type kind of vibe going on, when really it's kind of weird because, you know, we have the leader of the Marauders, King Tarak, up here. We do have Sindel, we do have Wicket, we do have Teak, we do have the creature with the rider. Forgive me, I forget the name off the top of my head here. We have other Marauders here, but then here in the center, who the hell is that? He looks like kind of a generic 80s action hero, or maybe it's supposed to be like Alex Rogan from Last Starfighter, or close. I'm guessing it's meant to be Mace. Maybe it's meant to be the dad, but I believe it's meant to be Mace. It's definitely not Noah, Wilford Brimley's character, unless he's out there trying to shoot diabetes with his blaster. There's an odd image here. It's almost like somebody just kind of explained a couple of bits about the story and gave them a bunch of concept art or a bunch of finished costume pictures or something and just said, roll with it, make yourself a poster. In any event here, in yellow in English, we have Ewoks, The Battle for Endor, then a bunch of Japanese text. Then down at the bottom, this is all English here, and it's basically the cast crew type information down here at the bottom. This down in the corner just tells you that this is subtitled in Japanese. Then we have here the MGM UA logo, the MGM UA Home Video logo, along with all your title information here in Japanese, with it in English here. Sindel there behind bars, hi-fi stereo. Then down here, it's basically just product number, price, which is 15,800 yen, and the beta symbol. Then the back, title in English again, some images from it, lots of information here in Japanese. The only English really back here is Dolby Surround and some legalese with that, the copyright dates and that sort of thing. You do have the holographic little sticker down here at the bottom. As for the case, it's essentially VHS sized, but if you open it, it's designed so you can sit the cassette in here, and it does fit on the little prongs on the inside. And this apparently is the original case, MGM UA Home Video there. The actual cassette. It does have a barcode on it. I'm assuming maybe this was a rental or something at some point. I don't think the barcodes were always on there, but they could be. I'm not familiar particularly with Japanese betas here. So we have the beta cassette, MGM UA home video, English title, Japanese title. Over here, some more Japanese text, product number with Dolby Surround. Then we've got copyright here, more Japanese text, holographic sticker, beta symbol right there. A little barcode thing. There is a code on the back here, that's why I'm thinking maybe it was originally a rental perhaps. And then the spine is vertical. MGM UA home video, title stuff, English, beta, product number, and price. Even on the cassette, the price is on there. As for this little sheet that is inside as well, this is basically just a survey from the company. Interesting, it mentions VHD on the back. It's a little survey. It's like, your opinion matters to us. What type of things are you interested in? How many cassettes do you own? Blah, 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 blah. Thank you to Google Lens, I believe it's called, the translation with a Google Translate on the phone app for figuring that out. Which also pinned down the fact that this edge here, there's the title. This edge is actually says, by George Lucas. At which point George Lucas is going, no, don't associate me with those. No, actually, he's cool with these, just not the holiday special. That's okay. Yeah, the holiday special was pretty bad. And this is actually my favorite of the Ewok films, so I shouldn't grab about it too much. It does say up in the corner here, by the way, the other thing I missed on the back, S/R, it says sale or rental, and it is there in English. So, kind of a cool little item here. Yes, beta in '88 was still going over in Japan. Yes, you could get the Ewok films, at least this Ewok film, on it. If the distribution rights were the same as over here, this was the MGM UA one, and the original was still under CBS Fox Video, so not sure if there was a beta of that. I would assume probably so, if it was still alive enough for this. Very much like, so there's a V2000 version of the first Ewok film over in the UK that was still sort of in existence at the time. But a nifty little item here, really nice looking, pretty cool to put in the collection. So thank you very much to Matthew Hardesty for picking this up and sending it my way. Will I get more into the Japanese VHS, Japanese beta market? I don't know, because most of that does have to ship from Japan and the prices can be pretty steep. But I'm considering it. Maybe. We'll see. For now, though, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.